Welcome back to the Minto Report. Today we are looking at the Virginia's Redistricting saga. It is a story that starts with a power grab and ends with a level of ineptitude. It would be funny if it wasn't so dangerous for our democracy. The Democrats in Virginia decided that a 7-4 split in Virginia isn't good enough. So guess what? They went for the jugular. They redrawn maps to create a 9-2 or even a 10-1 Democratic stronghold. Then the Virginia Supreme Court stepped in. Look at the blatant gerrymandering and struck it down as unconstitutional. Because, get this, the Democrats couldn't even follow the rules that they helped to write.
Developing this morning, the chances of Republicans keeping control of the House getting better after a crucial ruling in Virginia. The state Supreme Court there struck down the controversial Democratic congressional redistricting plan, ruling it was illegal from the start.
The very ones who said they have to.
If we are going to save this democracy, Democrats have to be not an opposition party in normal times, but a defender of democracy. And that's what this is all about.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, now Democrats are scrambling to regroup and are facing widespread criticism for what they could try to do next.
The state Supreme Court actually said you can remedy the process by doing it legally next time. Here's how you do that. And now you're seeing this meltdown on the left where the New York Times is reporting about these machinations at least being discussed by some Democrats at high levels, one of which, as you just detailed, Joey, involves taking out the entire state Supreme Court.
So, when the law didn't go their way, did they reflect? No. Did they compromise? No. They went nuclear. And here is their tactics. Proposal surface to effectively purge the Virginia Supreme Court by changing judicial age limits, restructuring the bench. To what end gold? Disqualify the sitting judges who ruled against them so they could install a friendlier bench to overturn the ruling or to install their proxies. Remember that they claim they're all doing this to save democracy.
Just basically going back retroactively and saying, oh, you're all too old. The new cutoff is 54. You're all ineligible to be justices, so you're out. Filling 7 seats with their own hacks and doing it again. That is banana republic, like total institution destroying madness.
It wasn't about the law. It was about changing the goalposts because they lost the game.
The state's congressional maps will remain unchanged, likely maintaining Virginia's current split of 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans in Congress as it stands right now.
The court ruled Democrats violated the Virginia Constitution by not following the legal process to amend the Constitution. The ruling said, quote, in this case, the Commonwealth submitted a proposed constitutional amendment to Virginia voters in an unprecedented manner that violated the intervening election requirement.
So what the Democrat is going to do now that they can't get their way, now they cry like a little baby and take it to their Attorney General. The Virginia Attorney General, who is fresh of a election victory, despite some truly thrilling text messages, tried to appeal the ruling, and in his filing of the papers, then it get really bizarre. Let's look at the expert legal work displayed in that filing. Typo City. It's alleged that he managed to misspelled Virginia and senator or senators in a formal court document. Senators may be, someone can misspell that word, but how come someone can't spell their own state that they live in? They can't spell it. It's not like it's Mississippi or Pennsylvania, which would probably be hard to spell, or Detroit because it's like French, but Virginia, oh, come on, man. Then it gets even more bizarre. It is alleged that he filed the appeal using the letterhead of the previous Attorney General of Virginia. Then the alleged most embarrassing of all, he filed a appeal of the Virginia Supreme Court decision to the Virginia Supreme Court. He should file it to a higher court than the Virginia Supreme Court. I think we should be the U.S. Supreme Court. And I'm not even a lawyer and haven't taken any law courses. And even I know that if a court made a decision and you want to appeal it, you have to appeal it to a higher court than the court that passed down the judgment. This brings us to the big question of today's report. Who is truly insufferable here? We have two options. Option A, is it the politician? Are they so blinded by power that they became totally inept? When you think you're unreplaceable, you stop checking your spelling and turn off your spelling check on your computer. You stop following the Constitution and you start acting like a king rather than a public servant. Now we are looking at option B, the voters or the electorate. Is it the electorate, the governor general, won in a landslide despite the threats and other comments and despite legislative overreach? The base doubled down. The voters so partisan that they will excuse literal threats and total incompetence to see their team win. So here is my verdict. When a politician realized that they can misspell the name of their own state and wish bad for the opponent children, although he said when he read what he said about his opponent children and his opponent, he felt bad. But in this case, you cannot take away your neighbor's wife and 2 years down the road you tell him that, hey man, I'm sorry that I did take away your wife from you. That certain things you just cannot say you're sorry for. And despite all of that, he still get promoted by the voters. So he has no incentive to do any better because he hit rock bottom and he still get elected. Here is my take. In this case, the politicians are the ones driving the bus off the cliff. But the voters are the ones cheering and buying the gas. We have a deeper problem than just a bad map. Is it the ego of the elite or just the blind loyalty of the base? This has been the Minto Report. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next one.